Guys, I'm so sorry about that. I tried to get off of the call with our caller, and once again, I ended the video. But this is part two of this video. Y'all come back in. Come back in. Please come back in. Please come back in. Please listen to my demo. Yeah. Come on in, guys. Come on in, guys. I apologize. Once again, I was trying to disconnect from the caller that came on to the live, and I hung up the video. I'm gonna give y'all a chance to get back in here. Don't y'all get too mad at me for doing that. Don't beat me up too bad. Come on in, come on in. Please continue to share. Share. Y'all get back in, get back in. So yeah, commitment. I'm gonna go back to the old video and read some of the comments so I can address the comments that was on the other video. So y'all come back in. Come back in. Him. Kev says she gonna want you to stop talking to them. Definitely. Yeah. Like I said, whenever there's insecurity involved, right? Whenever there's insecurity involved, remind you guys, listen to the word insecurity. So it's something within you that doesn't make you feel secure. So, and when it's like that, there's nothing that someone outside of you can do to make you insecure. So you have to deal with that insecurity first. I believe that if you are secure, then there's nothing that can happen inwardly that can cause your security to be shaken. You know what I mean? Not to get deep, but my hope, my belief, my faith is in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So as long as I know within myself that is secure, then I'm not going to allow something outside of me to move me off of that mark, because that's what guides me and governs me inwardly. And this is why I say we got to get out our feelings, because insecurity plays on our feelings. It don't go with facts and truth. You know what I mean? And the fact of the matter is, this is what kind of helps my security, so to speak. Even if I thought or felt like my wife was being unfaithful or lying to me or whatever the case may be, or blah, 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 there's no real way that I'm going to actually know that unless she tell me, or unless I catch it in the act, right? So now with that being said, if I'm happy and if my life is good, why would I allow that thought to cause me to start doing things that's going to shake the foundation of that happiness or uproot it? So things like looking through phones and checking receipts in her purse and wanting a password to her emails and Facebook account and all of these things that's just going to create a jail cell, make life miserable, and all of these things. And all of these stuff come about is because we can't govern our emotions and control our feelings, But when we become secure of who we are, what we are, and you can look at yourself. Like my thing is, and I'm sure this is her thing as well. Like I know that I'm a catch. Like I know that, you know what I mean? I might not be everybody's catch, but I'm her catch. And if she decide at any point in time that she want to throw me back, guess what? I'm somebody's prize fish. So if she throw me back, that means somebody else get an opportunity to throw their line in the water and get me and catch me. And someone's going to keep me. You know what I mean? I'm just using that as an analogy, y'all. She going to keep me now. Just letting y'all know she going to keep me. But, so oftentimes we have to really check ourselves, control our feelings, our emotions. Don't live in our feelings. Live in what we know. And this will help you commit, because one thing my wife taught me blew my mind. I thought that I stayed with her throughout life, for through our marriage for love. You know what I mean? I was like, oh well, I love her this much, I love her that much. So this is why XYZ, whatever, blah blah blah. But she taught me that Tina Turner was right What's love got to do with it? You know what I mean? Because the reality of it is, you stay with who you're committed to. You know, and sometimes the love just ain't gonna be enough. But if you're committed, the commitment will keep you together when love couldn't. You know what I mean? It's a lot of divorced people that still loved each other. But I have never seen a committed divorced person. You know? So commitment is very key when it comes down to, you know, vows that's being made. Go ahead. We missed, because I know Tonio has some.
He was just saying about that, like, sounding like Jennings. Yeah, that was funny.
Go ahead.
Pastor Sheila, hey, thank you for joining us, man. We look forward to you coming on every week. We appreciate it.
I hate I dropped that first video, man. I really hate I did that. But go ahead.
She said, some of us are addicted to commitment. Now listen to this. They feel as though if they are not committed to someone, they are incomplete. It took me a long time to learn how to be complete in God and allow that special person to complement my life instead of complete it.
That's right.
That's good. Right. Yeah, I know a lot of individuals who have to be in a relationship. Like, I cannot be alone. You know, and I think, like David mentioned earlier, that comes from, or spirits from, insecurity. You know, having some things and issues inside when we feel like we need another person to be committed to, like a project, so to speak, and to validate who we are, to make sure we get to where we need to be. You know, I can't do that alone. You know, give us meaning. You know, yeah. But I think that's an eternal issue, and like you said, she had to learn how to be complete in God first. You know, which allowed her to be able to have someone to compliment her. You know, in a healthy way. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, here you go, Antonio comment right here.
Antonio says, there's a lot of men who want to be in a committed relationship. It's the trial of the relationship and feeling that he's fighting in vain. I think women think they can do whatever and test a man as many times as they like, and he won't take damage.
I don't know.
Well, listen,
that?
No.
I mean, that's like
I'll say this. Yeah. That's what he thinks. That's his opinion. That's his reality. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I can't knock him, but I'm trying to think if I ever felt like you felt you could do any and everything, and I was just gonna take it.
You did.
That's what I kind of remember something similar, but not.
It was like a season of it where you felt.
Yeah, where I was like you really trying me. I don't know. I can't really say. The one thing I do know is, Tonio, I do know that I have had a season where I literally told my wife, I was like, listen, either you are or you not. And if you not, I'm not. So we just going to be two people that's not. You know what I mean? And we were for like a few years. Like I said, I mean, we sit here and we talk and we act like, you know, we know all the answers or whatever, but we really don't. But one thing I would say this is, y'all might think, I ain't going to say we act like it, because we don't act like we know all the answers. But y'all might think we have all the answers or whatever. But the reality of it is, if it wasn't for God, we wouldn't be here. Because she was getting ready. She was she was getting ready to get a divorce. I was, you know, she was already checked out of the marriage. I was checked out of the marriage. You know, we had already fell out of love with each other, and we was good with it. We wasn't even mad at each other. Like, we was friends. Like, we was really cool. Like, I did what I did. I went where I went. She went where she went. She did what she did. She come home. I come home. We have fun. We go on trips, vacations, take the kids places, all of that stuff. Come back home. She go her way. I go my way, whatever. You know what I mean? And little did we know. You know what I mean? Like, well, little did I know. I was about to get served some papers. She was about to be like, she ready to sign them papers.
Yeah. Tawana said, I wanted to add that we need to be clear on what commitment looks like. You know, because it can be different for different people.
Right.
You know, and I think that goes with what Lori was saying earlier. It's just an adult conversation that has to be had, so we can be clear on what we expect from a relationship, from a committed relationship.
Right. Somebody just asked to be added onto the video and then it disappeared. If that was an accident, or do you really want to come back on? I'm about to add you. But
yeah.
Go ahead. We still reading comments from the first video, but we're going to get to the second video. Are we done with the first video?
Yeah, we just got done.
Okay, let me see. Jack coming through. Yes, sir.
They're probably both of them.
No, this bro right here. Kev, I'm coming to your comment in a minute.
I didn't see Kevin on there.
No, he on here.
Oh, I see it right here.
Yeah. What up, bro? Why you always laying in the bed, man? Get up. Get up.
Hey, look, I continue to stare at the ceiling and talk to God in situations like this when they come up. You feel me?
I feel. There you go.
That's
There
a
you go. That's
position.
good. That's good.
So I want to just chime in on what my wife said and what the young lady said on your video. Adult conversation, because this is the thing. What Tina Turner said was good. What love has to do with it. But to me, I've been saying in my experience, your loyalty is above everything. That's I guess go hand in hand with your commitment, and is more valuable than anything. You follow what I'm saying?
Right. Right. I get what you're saying. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because this is the thing. A lot of men don't want to commit. You understand what I'm saying? Because number one, it's a lot of childish men out there. That's number one. And number two, and these days and times, it's a lot of selfish men out there. I've never seen it a day in my life. They don't want to bring absolutely nothing to the table, but they trying to see what they can get from the start with. I know.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? When you first met me, I told you I was old-fashioned, and I'm still growing in everything too. When it comes down to you saying you know what you know, you can know what you know, but if you don't let the people know, it's still a problem. I'm a witness of that from coming out of prison. I'm a witness of that.
Right.
So I'm telling you something that whereas though I live, you can know, but if you don't check them people, you're gonna still have a problem.
That's right. You're right. Because everybody don't know what you know.
Right.
Right.
I mean, me myself personally, I'm using you as an example. I had to let even my family members know where I stand and where my loyalty.
That's right. Yep.
So if you leave a crack open when it comes down to anybody in y'all armor, they gonna test that. Simple. So
that's right. You right. You preaching today.
You preaching today.
You preaching today.
So and the biggest thing is, and I say this because I'm still looking to do, because God is still working on me, honestly, truly, and in me and my wife's marriage. But when it comes down to passionate situations, you can best believe if I'm listening, if I see you on that,
man, that's right.
I would say it.
I said, no, that's bro right there. I know that's bro right there.
Yeah, I mean, so, tell my wife I left from around there because the kids around there, I wanted to come around here in the room. She can come around here with me. I mean, that ain't no problem. I love my wife.
She watching.
Huh?
She watching. We live. Live.
Yeah. So my thing is this right here. I want everybody to understand when the points that you're making is very valid points, but it's a thin line when it comes down to understanding that commitment and loyalty. I believe now. I mean, you correct me. That go hand in hand. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So how can you be loyal to a person and not committed? How can you be committed to a person and not loyal?
Not loyal.
Yeah. It's like they balance each other out. Yeah. Like some.
Yeah. You can love me and don't be loyal to me, and then if you love me and don't be loyal to me, you are no asset to me. You are a danger.
Right. Because now you close enough to hurt me, but you're not close enough to guard me.
Exactly. And one of the biggest things that we had to understand and realize from a prison standpoint, you better understand and know where your loyalty at. You better know where your loyalty at, because your life will depend on it.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this before you go, because you old school, and I kind of almost feel like I know what you're about to say. Do you believe? Now let me put it this way. What if you came into a commitment and where infidelity was not a deal breaker, or the lack of infidelity was not something that was agreed upon, right? It wasn't planned. Wait a minute. It wasn't planned, but it was like, look, I can't promise you I would never do that, but I just want to let you know I'm human, and I don't want our commitment or our union to be based on the first time that I make that mistake. So now I'm giving that to you up front. Do you still want to be with me? And then the person says yes. If that person commits infidelity, would you look at it then in that standpoint as being disloyal?
See, okay, so it's two ways that I look at this. Number one is this: we all human, and a person can make a mistake. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And especially
Mm-hmm.
if something is going on. It's one thing to make a mistake, and it's another thing to live in iniquity. That means you continuously making that same mistake again. You continuously go into that same relationship again. You continuously still saying that I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Now, the reason why I said love doesn't matter, your loyalty to a person shouldn't want to see them hurt.
Yeah, that's true.
Your loyalty to a person should not want to see them hurt. And what I'm saying is when it comes down to, and I'm telling you this because me and my wife is going through this and we're studying these words in the Greek, the Hebrew, and everything. The word honor to these married people, that word is a big word. That is a word. You follow what I'm saying? And when it comes down to the word loyalty, that is a big word. So y'all need to ask the question, what does loyalty look like to somebody? That's the question. So yeah, so that's the question. So I appreciate it, brother. And like I said, I'm gonna continue on watching your live. Sometime I'll be busy, you know, I'll chime in or whatever it may be. But we got to continue on building these marriages, making sure that we have healthy marriages. Because like I said, it's a day in and day out trial basis, to whereas we trying to perfect this thing in our lifespan when we say I do. You follow me?
Right, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So that would.
Thanks, bro. Love you, man.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Don't forget, May 18th through the 22nd.
I got you covered.
All right, later.
All right.
All right. Time now. We don't want to end. Okay, there we go.
All right, man. That's my brother, y'all. I love him to death, man. Good guy, good guy. I love him and his wife. Let me read. Hey, cousin, got Vanessa in the house.
Hey,
let me read her comment real quick. We coming around. We catching up on some of these comments, y'all.
I'll read it.
Go ahead.
She said, hi, I know some people, men and women, have a hard time committing because they bring some issues from their last relationship into the new one. When moving on, you can't constantly compare your new relationship to the old one. Know what I mean? Give the new person a chance. Don't take past issues out on them.
Right. We see that so often. We see that so often. And you want to know what's crazy? Lately, I've been seeing that in men more than I've been seeing it in women, where men bring expectations from their old relationship into their new relationship, and where men bring baggage from their old relationship into their new relationship. And it's kind of scary, man, because you kind of look for men to be the more nothing against you women, but we you know look to them to be the more stable one, as far as, you know, being sure, being the leader, being the, you know, that. But then they come, you know, just as emotionally wrecked as, you know, maybe some women may be. And it's tough, you know, it's tough, you know, especially as a man that really tries to stay away from his emotions, watching another man live in them, it's really hard, you know what I mean? It's kind of almost, I wouldn't say embarrassing, but it's kind of almost like aggravating or something. I can't even explain it. But one thing I would say is that if you bring past stuff into your present, then you will forever be stuck in your past. And not only will you forever be stuck in your past, but people say you will be stuck in your present. No, you won't be stuck in your present. In fact, you will never even have a chance to explore your present because you're stuck in your past. And if you can't explore your present, you won't really have much of a future, because it takes living in your present to create and set up your future. You know? So we have to learn to let go of old stuff. Like you got to let it go. Let me tell you something. If anybody had the right to hold on to stuff that has happened to them in their past, I would say my wife had the right to do so, you know. And watching her gradually become free of things in her past, in itself, it makes me want to raise my level of who I am to her and what I should be to her. And it makes me not only erase her past, but erase my past, so that we can make sure that we have a solid future, that we can make sure that we're focusing on what's more important. What we did is not important. What we're doing is not even as important as into where we're going, because where you're going what you're doing should be a resemblance of where you're going. You should be able to look at what a person is doing now and tell where they're going. And if women, because a lot of y'all be looking at the wrong thing, if you can't look at that man in the dating phase and tell where he's going, don't expect to feel secure and happy and all of this stuff once you get into that relationship or marriage even. And now you sitting there trying to figure out how you got there. You got there because you went somewhere that you did not even know where you was going. You know? So be careful before you connect to people, men and women. If you can look at that woman and look at what she's doing now and have an idea of where she's headed, chances are she don't even know where she's going.
Yeah.
And the same thing, women for men. If you can't look at that man and see what he's doing now and have a kind of idea of where he's going, he don't even know where he's going. You know what I mean? So, you know, and you know, women, it's a tough place to be in when you get into a relationship with a man and you have to give him direction. Because then when you give him direction, he's going to feel like he's a child, and he should. And you're going to start resenting him because you're going to be wanting him to do things that he has not been equipped or mature enough or grew into do. And you knew it before you got connected to him. But somehow you signed up for something that you knew you wasn't going to be able to be committed to. So y'all, you know, be careful on that. Let me read some more of these comments. It's getting past the 8 o'clock hour. We're gonna try to get out of here. But Star says the past is a good reference. Well, I use mine for that. Okay. Let me say this. I'm gonna say this. It's something that it really happened to me, but I use it as a quote. But it literally happened to me. I took a visit to my future. And the number one thing that I found out that helped me in my present is that when I took a visit to my future, I discovered that my past wasn't there. So I don't know who that's for, but let that sizzle in your spirit. Write that down. Take a trip to your future and you'll discover your past ain't there. Right? The caption say, are men afraid to commit? What's up, Pastor Price? Are men afraid to commit? To me, man will not commit his life to anything or anybody that he does not see a future with. Facts. That's why I agree, Price. That's why I simply just now said that if you can't look at a person and just have an idea of where they're going, that's because they don't know where they're going. Hey, Star to my sister. You know, if you don't, if they don't have an idea of where they're going, then that means that puts the burden on you to lead them to where they're going. Now, as a man, that should not be as much of a problem as it should be if it was a woman that's with a man and looking at a man and don't have an idea where they're going but still connect. But one thing, men, that you ought to be able to see, that wherever you're going, that woman would be an asset instead of a liability on your road to where you're going. And if you can't look at her in the beginning stage as an asset to where you're going and know that she find life and purpose and being an asset to where you're going, don't do it. Don't do it. You men, you ought to always, when you're picking the woman that you want to be with, you ought to always be able to see yourself in that woman. To those of you who believe scripture, God never told Adam who Eve was. Never. Right. And you want to know why he didn't have to tell Adam who Eve was? Is because Adam saw Eve. He saw himself in Eve. He was asleep when God performed this surgery. God gave him anesthesia, and then he split him open, and then he performed the surgery, and then he brought the woman to Adam. He didn't say, Adam, look what I made from you. He didn't say, Adam, this is Eve, your wife. He didn't say nothing. He made her and just brought her to Adam, and Adam looked at Eve the same way he looked at all of those animals in the field. He called those animals XYZ. But when he looked at Eve, he said, this is me.
Mm-hmm.
I see me in her, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman. Mm-hmm. So men, when you choosing for who you want to walk into your future with, like Pastor Price said, make sure you see yourself in that woman. Mm-hmm. Make sure she's an asset to where God is taking you to and not a liability. Mm-hmm. And women, make sure God is taking your husband wherever, or the man you want to marry, wherever he's going.
Right.
That way, whenever he gets out of line from wherever he's going, you ain't got to fuss and argue with him and pop your neck and roll around. You go to the one that's leading him and say, hey, God, the one that you're leading is tripping right now. Mm-hmm. I really need you to get him together. I really need you to get him straightening. Because don't nothing get straightening but straightening.
Yeah. Before we get ready to wrap it up, wanted to read Pastor Sheila had asked a question early on.
Ooh, Price, that's deep. Hold on. He said, if I can't see you in my future, then that's seasonal. Lord have mercy. I felt that one. I'm going to run on that one day. Yes, sir.
She said, what was it like when y'all was in that season, and how did you get through that season, and what turned it around for y'all to bring y'all back as one? Talking about, separation kind of thing.
Pastor Sheila, for me, I must say, God, I can't even I ain't trying to be deep, but I did not want to come back. I did not want to come back. I had already fell out of love with my wife. I had already begun to love what I was doing outside of it. I was okay with it. I was content with it. I was good. I was done. Like, you know what I mean? I felt like I have given not all that I could, and I haven't given it my best. I gave it all I was willing to give. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to give no more, and I had a conversation with God, to make a long story short, and he asked me a couple of things. Mm-hmm. And one thing I do know is that I never felt like another woman was worthy of the things that I was willing to give my wife. So in knowing that, I would have never been able to establish or even attempt to establish something with someone else that I wanted to with my wife. Mm-hmm. Which means for me to have aborted my marriage, I would have been aborting my purpose in God, because the only person that I saw fit to do purpose with was my wife. So when I came to that realization that by aborting my marriage would have been aborted, and this ain't for everybody now, so don't go out there and say the pastor say you can't leave your this and can't leave your that, because you'll be aborting your purpose. Meanwhile, you getting bloody nose, bloody eye, and she out there tipping around the corner with every man and this and that, and you sitting there saying pastor say don't leave. No, I'm saying for me, I didn't want to pursue or do purpose because I couldn't see purpose in any other woman. Now, I saw everything else in other women now, did everything else in every other woman, but I could not see purpose in every other woman. And it was because of that God asked me, he said, so I'm going to be with you regardless. I'm going to be with you regardless. Mm-hmm. But you won't be with me. Because whenever it's a difference between God being with you and you being with him. Mm-hmm. See, when God with you, everything will be good.
Right.
But when you with him, everything will be great. And I don't know about you, but I'm choosing great over good any day. Now that's my reason why I came back. Mm-hmm. But what's yours?
Yeah.
She came back because I'm that dude. That's why I'm gonna answer for her. She came back because I'm that dude, and she knew she wasn't gonna find nobody like me. She knew I was the bread, the butter on her bread, and the jelly in her jelly roast. Like, now let me stop. Go ahead. Answer.
So for me, what made me stick around or whatever, I honestly, Pastor Sheila, it was God. No, it literally was God. I had totally checked out. I mentioned earlier that, a woman can be checked out mentally, you know what I mean, and still be there physically. Where I was in that place where I actually was praying to God, saying, you know what, get me out of this thing. I don't want to be in this relationship anymore, and not even so much of what David was doing or anything like that. It's just I had, grew tired of the relationship, and I literally went to a service, my spiritual mother at her church, and God met me there. he spoke and said, "Where you think you're going? You ain't going nowhere. So sit down.
Yes, Lord.
Let's
Yes,
deal with
Lord.
this. Let's develop this and see the why. Figure out
Thank
the why.
you, Lord.
You know, and then you recommit yourself. You know, rededicate yourself. And so, literally, it was God. God really had handcuffs on our relationship.
Yes,
you know, it was
Lord.
like, y'all not going nowhere till death do us part.
Till
So there
death
you
do
have
us
it.
part. And now we here. Now we here. We here using our experiences as an open book and hopes to help somebody else choose relationships wisely, develop healthy relationships, recommit themselves to their relationships, get out of bad relationships, you know, all of that stuff, you know. And again, we don't claim to know it all, but we do know who knows it all. And we think we kind of came up with a formula or something.
Yeah.
What up, Omar?
Yeah. Hey, Omar. As long as you keep God in the center, like that's it. That is the main ingredient. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to keep him first and foremost. Keep taking your relationships to God in prayer. He's going to give you the answers. If it's something that you know that he doesn't want for you or whatever, don't allow people to dictate that to you and tell you when you need to check out. You take that up with God and allow the God to minister to you through your spirit and let you know how you need to work this thing out or not. You know what I mean? That is the main thing. The best advice that I can give, that we can give, that if God ain't in it, then you need to search him out until you know that he's, you know, at the core of your relationship. That's it.
Because I want to say this too as we get ready to give announcements and close. But check this out, right? Because a lot of people, I heard loyalty being thrown out there tonight, commitment being thrown out there tonight, this, that, and the third. Now, again, when I said in the beginning of the first video, you have to put realistic expectations on your relationship and your commitments that you're signing up for, right? I am committed to God. I am committed to God's will for my life. And I am loyal to that call. However, I am human and I have imperfections. Does this justify whenever I make imperfect decisions? It doesn't. But does my imperfect decisions makes my commitment to God and my loyalty to the call null and void? I don't think so, right? So I approach my marriage in that same way. If my wife went out here yesterday and was with another guy, that would not make me feel like she's not loyal. Just because she committed a disloyal act doesn't mean that she's a disloyal person. Just because she committed a disloyal act doesn't mean that she does not, or she's not committed to the marriage, right? So if we want to I can't cast her aside for committing an act that doesn't represent who I know she is. So now when she behaves outside of who I know she is, I go to the one who knows her better than me. And I say, God, what's going on with this? What am I supposed to do? I got you, Jack. What am I supposed to do with this? What am I supposed? Because she just now done something that I deem to be disloyal. She just done something that on the surface looked like she's not committed to me. What should I do? And I'm gonna tell you what God told me. He said, I want you to love her the way I love the church. And I'm a part of that church. And the way he loved me is that if I commit a disloyal act, he doesn't title me disloyal. If I commit, if I lie, he doesn't title me a liar. If I cheat, he doesn't title me a cheater, regardless of how many times I do it. So I love him for those reasons. I honor him for those reasons. I adore him for those reasons. And he loves me into a place of striving for perfection. So now he makes me want to step the bar up through his love. And that's how I always compare my marriage. That's how I always compare not only just my marriage, it's all my relationships. Until I could ever look God in the face and say, I would never or could never or have never done that, I cannot rebuke somebody or chastise somebody or ostracize somebody or discredit somebody for the same thing. Right now, come on, let me get my brother Jack in here real quick, Cause he about to let me have it. I already feel it.
He's probably sitting up now.
No. Come on, oh brother, I went and got in the dark on this one. No, turn that light on. Turn that light on.
I'm about to, hey,
What's up, bro?
listen, I'm a very scriptural person. I'm a very scriptural person now. You got to go.
You know your word.
You got to go back. When I believe it's in Ephesians, before he give instructions for the man and the woman, he said, submit yourself one to another in the fear of God. To me, and even right now, when me and my wife get on bad terms and I do something I know I don't have to do, or I know I shouldn't be doing, the fear of God got me wanting to make it right and get back in right standings with him.
I agree. Yeah. But now, whatever it is that you've done, do she try to disqualify you as being a good husband because you had a moment in which you did something that you know you shouldn't have done?
And that goes back to your first question, because I wanted to make sure that I answered. If you and a person sit down and they tell you that, and you know what your standards is, take that person for what he just said that he might do, and don't build nothing, and don't build nothing around that. We can be cut buddies. We can have fun whenever you want to have fun. I'm going to look for somebody solid in the meantime. And whenever you want to do whatever you're going to do, we can do it. But it ain't no building no future. It ain't looking to, I mean, and that's the biggest thing. And from when people sleeping around and doing this, I've never been so adamant about it, because that's not how God created. And I'm not picking and choosing. Because every time you sleep with someone, that person has attachment to you. And that's what you call a soul tie. And you might break them, but that attachment is still to you. So it's a lot of people walking around with a lot of people up underneath their belt, including myself, that we need to commit for and get right. Bottom line, you look in your, and I'm ashamed of the devil. I'm going to just say it. Y'all can say it however it may be, this, that, and the third. It's a lot of people. I'm talking about good people. Because what I'm telling you right now is this right here. The thing about it is you can have a good heart and know that you're doing wrong, but what the scriptures say, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. That's why you don't put yourself out there. That's why you don't put yourself in a predicament. That's why you don't do ungodly conversations. That's why you that snake off from the head. That's what you have to do.
That's right.
Because if you don't, it will. I'm telling you, I live by scripture, and I'm telling you because of this.
You preach to the choir.
That's what I'm telling you. I live by scripture, and even when it convicts me, because like I said, when I do my wife wrong, man, and we butt heads not too long ago, man, I ain't sleep last night. I mean, even I don't sleep because God is dealing with me, and I got to go back and make it right, regardless of what she's gonna do. I got to go back and make it right. You feel what I'm saying? Because it says fear, and it's not what I say, but everything that you've done, they say when judgment day come, it's gonna be shown back to you. So when you made a vow to your wife, you made it unto him, and so how you treat your wife, what it says, that fear. Okay, you ain't got to fear your wife. You better fear God, because he got something to say about it too.
That's right. That's right. I agree.
Yeah. So that's it. I had to make sure I answer the first question first. So if that person tell you what it is, take it for what it is. Call a spade a spade. Okay, this is not something that I can say won't happen. So I better be willing and able to either deal with it or don't deal with it, and don't put my eggs in one basket. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
That's right. I agree. And I just said earlier, don't sign a contract you ain't willing to commit to.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gone. I'm good night, y'all.
Love you, bro. Right. Go ahead.
Star had said, she was saying that, you know, every person you sleep with, you married to, from the woman at the well. You know? Yeah.
I would say this, you know, I respect all your opinions, all of that stuff, right? But one thing I would say is, and this is just experience, right? And this is just also because I know how the body works. I know how God works. I know how the Spirit of God and the Holy Spirit works, and things like that. But one thing I would say is, especially for women, your body is constantly changing and renewing itself. So I forgot what the length of time is, but over time, even your organs change, like and not even that long period of time. Like you have new organs, you know what I mean? Like they renew, they refresh. So even like especially people that you've been with years ago, um, it ain't the same. It's changed. It's new now. You know what I mean? Like physically and spiritually. You know what I mean? So if you have been, made new through Christ, spiritually, but in the Holy Spirit, but physically it has changed. You know what I mean? So to all you fellas around there that been with a woman years ago and then you walking around saying, yeah, I had that. No, you didn't have that, because it ain't the same no more. All of those tissues and organs and even the feeling ain't even the same no more. You know what I mean? So no, you haven't. You know what I mean? You had the old version of that, but you haven't had this version, Now men, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different, fellas, because what we think is just on the surface, we don't understand is that they are renewed. In other words, God gave us women, right? He gave us women, which means if we act stupid, he gonna take care of them, because he gave them to us, hoping that we would do the right thing by the gift that he gave us. If we don't, this is why women are oftentimes in church more than men are, because women are God women. In fact, before God so loved the world that he gave his son, he so loved the man that he gave a woman. But we don't talk about that in Sunday school. That's a whole, I'll break that down to y'all later. I ain't got time right now. But keep in mind, we often talk about the Son of God, this, that, and the third, but the first gift that God gave to man was a woman. Mm-hmm. Right? Let that be known. So with that being said, that's that gift that he gave. If we don't take care of it, it's just like a dad. When a dad brings his daughter to a husband, he expects that husband to take care of that daughter the same way that he would. And if he don't, guess what? That daughter can always come and run back to daddy's house, a good father, and take care of, he gonna take care of her, and he gonna clean her, and she gonna be a totally different woman than she was when the person who she was at gave her back to the dad, or she ran back to the dad. However, men, we can't get cleansed so easily. Why? Because we were never designed to allow anything to be inputted into us. So naturally, things that get in us, we don't have nothing that we can go to and rely on to clean it out, right? Because God has equipped us and placed everything in us that was designed for us to be God-like. That was designed for us to be God-like. So whenever we go and utilize what's in us for something that's not godly, we release a piece of our godhood into someone else. And every time we do that, it makes us less and less and less of God. So women might walk off or run off with something that we imparted into them, and y'all might want to call it a soul tie, but then they get cleansed and they get recharged and then they get renewed. But that thing that we placed into them, we don't get that back. We don't get that back. To bring it home, take a baby, for example. When you shoot your seed into that baby, see, women carry the baby for 9 months, but they get all the rights. But they get all those rights from us. We walk around with the babies all our lives. We walk around with billions and billions of babies running around in us all our life. Because God created us that way to be able to produce life form. So when we shoot our godliness into a place or utilize it for an ungodly reason, we lose part of our godship. So in other words, like, if you go out here and you be with a woman that you ain't planning on spending the rest of your life with, and she become your baby mama, you lose part of your rights to that child. I don't care how well you co-parent. You lose part of your rights to that child. And that child is your godship. That's your godship. That's the biggest, one of the biggest forms in which you show how much of God you are. When you create life, sustain life, and bring that life into flourishing to where it does the same thing. So I'm gonna have to do a whole seminar on this because I really don't have enough time to really break it down. But we're gonna get into some of these comments and then we're gonna get on out of here. Fellas, be careful when you're dropping your seed. Every garden ain't meant to be sowed into. Every garden ain't meant to be sowed into.
Yeah, garden. This is Pastor Shields. This is why it's so important to not be unequally yoked. You know, right. I think you talk about that recently.
That's right.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Okay, we want to catch up with you. The comments. Yes, please do this. This is good. Yeah. All right. Pastor Sheila, we still waiting on that. What is it? A conference? I think she said she wanted to do. Go ahead and make it happen. Okay, we got all the comments, guys. We thank you guys for joining in with us tonight, guys. We are finalizing the Till Death Do Us Part couples retreat. This part 3. We finalizing it. We have the location, we have the property that we're going to be staying at. Now we're just finalizing the activities. I'm not going to put the details out there yet because apparently my wife ain't ready to put them out yet because she ain't put them out yet. But we working on it right now. I'm telling you, it is going to be so much fun, so much healing, so much therapy. It is going to be a once in a lifetime experience. Well, put it this way. I'm not gonna say a once in a lifetime because, you know, if it works for you and if the atmosphere is, how can I put it? If you don't violate the atmosphere of the retreat, you will be back. I promise you, you're not going to want to just come on one, you know? It's going to be fun. It's going to be some healing, some therapy. It's going to be some relaxation. It's going to be, I'm sure, some crying, some laughing, you know, all that good stuff. Be on the lookout. Sometime this week, we should have everything up. We should have the flyers up. We got some people on here now who have already been, and they can attest to the effectiveness of these retreats and the just the serenity and the, you know, we have fun, y'all, but I'm telling you, I don't even think the fun part is the best part for me. I think the healing and the growth and the conversation and the team building activities and the, you know, those things are what's really the best part for me. Also, what's up, Shanique? Our Zoom and prophetic encounter on Wednesdays. You will see the flyer. If you want to get in on that, just inbox me and I will give you the ID and the password. Follow us on our website. We just put in a comment. Look for Michelle Lemon in the comments and follow that website. It will let you know upcoming dates on the retreat. It will give you a glimpse of some of the things that have taken place on our last retreat. You get to see pictures, photos, reviews. We got couples, they write their reviews inside there. I think we might have a video in there, a promo video of the last couples retreat we did a few months ago in South Beach, Miami. All that good stuff.
I want y'all to go and find us on YouTube. Y'all go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to get a certain number of followers on our YouTube channel. So the YouTube channel was just posted into the comments. Go find us on YouTube and you'll see the video from the last retreat. You'll see previous shows.
Good night, cousin. Thanks for joining. Go ahead.
You'll see previous shows, et cetera, et cetera. So go follow us on our YouTube. Go follow our YouTube page and then go to our website.
Right. Do that. Follow YouTube page, then go to Till Death Do Us Part website. Go follow, please, you guys, really follow the YouTube channel and go look at some of these old videos. I'm telling you, they are good. You can see how the show started and how it has grown. You can even see how we have grown and how our marriage have grown and how other couples who have been fans of the show for so long, you know, how it has grown. And God has just been blessing. Those of you who are in the Virginia area, you can come check us out on Sunday afternoons at 4:30 at our new location. Lit Virginia, Living in Truth Spiritual Wellness Center. We have the Lit Power Hour. Look for the flyers as well. Last Sunday was awesome. I want to thank everyone, if you're in here, that came out on last Sunday. We really had a good time. God definitely moved in that place. Topic was control yourself and get out your feelings. Yes, God. So anyways, we thank
you all
everybody.
so much. Don't forget to share this video, guys. Don't forget to share this video. Tag it and share on your page.
Right.
Your pages and to your groups that you're affiliated with.
All
right. Love you all.
And y'all have a great night. Good night, guys.